What's going on, people? Here we are, number 15 of this vinyl shit. I got some good news. I have a new computer, so this will be the last video where you hear that really annoying hiss in the background. So, yeah, on that. Let's jump right in. Last week we ended on Nurse with Wound, and I have a record that should have been shown in the last video, but it was not put back in the correct order. I don't know if that was me or my girlfriend or a ghost. I don't know who it was, but anyway, New York Dolls. This is their debut. I'm sure most of you guys know who the New York Dolls were. Basically it's a record that if you're a fan of rock and roll, you need to have this in your collection. If you're a fan of punk, it's basically essential to your collection. It's equal parts T-Rex, Iggy and the Stooges, Lou Reed. Basically, it's kind of like, I think it's pretty common to say that it's like the Rolling Stones on drugs, or on different drugs, better drugs in my opinion, because I'm not a huge fan of the Rolling Stones. But, yeah, these guys, tight. Rolling Stones in fucking drag playing some tight-ass punk rock. So yeah, New York Dolls. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Mr. Billy Ocean, Suddenly. This is classic, man. I grew up on this record. This is another hand-me-down from my dad. I remember this playing a lot when I was a kid. But, it's great old school R&B that was kind of on that line between like the really old sound of R&B and the more upbeat, newer sound of R&B. Lots of great slap bass. Lots of that shit. It has some great songs on here. Obviously, Caribbean Queen. Caribbean Queen! Lover Boy. Yo, Lover Boy. Lover Boy. This that panty dropping music that I keep telling y'all about. Hey, if you got a chick over the house and you ain't getting laid, that means the right music ain't getting played! Alright! Put this shit on, man. Hey. Suddenly, life has new meaning to me. If you singing that shit to a chick and you ain't getting none, dog, you doing something wrong, or you ugly than a motherfucker, alright? Sorry. Yeah. Next record I'm going to show you. This is Sinead O'Connor, How About I Be Me and You Be You. This is a fantastic album. I'm a big fan of Sinead O'Connor. I think her voice is just absolutely perfect. She had some issues going on, but hey, fuck that shit, man. It's all about the music, and her music is fucking amazing. But yeah, this is a great album. It starts off a little bit rough with Fourth and Vine. I really wasn't much of a fan of that song, but after that, it's stellar. The next song, Reason With Me, is just like a beautiful ballad type song. Just fucking fantastic. Old Lady. One day you'll say that's my girl. Yeah, I sang that shit. I'm comfortable with mine, boy. On this record, she covers a lot of really personal topics, and all of it is just sung perfectly and just played beautifully. This is a fantastic album. Now we're about to talk about some of my favorite shit, dude. Ofermod Tiamtu. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but hey, I don't care. This is one of my favorite black metal bands. This is a Swedish black metal band, Swedish occult black metal band. They are in fucking incredible. Brutal Swedish black metal, kind of like a mixture of I don't know, mid-era Dark Throne and later era Satyricon. They're just fucking awesome. This is their first full length on vinyl. Really nice gatefold album. I mean, dude, look at these guys, man. There's no way that shit's not gonna be rad, right? But yeah, these guys are the real deal, man. For those of you who are fans of this band already, you probably already know the story of how this was supposed to be, what the fuck was it supposed to be called? Pentagrammaton or something? But due to Balfagor always going to jail, it just never got released properly, so they reworked it into this album. And God, man, I would kill to know what the original sounded like, because they were a little bit more raw on their first couple of releases. So yeah, if anybody has the hookup on that, shoot me a fucking email, because I cut off one of my nuts to hear that. Maybe not a whole nut, like a half a nut or something. Next record I'm going to show you, this is the Ojays, Ship Ahoy. I'll be honest, this is just straight up dancey R&B. Not really my favorite stuff at all. I know it's kind of blasphemous to say I'm not that big of a fan of the Ojays, but I'm just not. You know, this was another record that was a hand-me-down from my dad. It is a nice gatefold LP with a nice picture of these guys on the sea and a nice boat on the back. I just wish the music matched the imagery, you know. This is just really happy, fun R&B, and I'm just not that into that kind of shit. I'm more into the lovey-dovey type, the ballad songs, and they don't really have too much of that. Of course, this has the song For the Love of Money. Money, 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 money. But I will say, Don't Call Me Brother is a fantastic track. I don't know, it kind of has that old soul sound, but outside of that song, I'm not really that big of a fan of this record. So, you know, if you like the Ojays, cool. If you don't like the Ojays, that's cool too. Whatever. Next record I'm going to show you, this is another Ojays album, Travelin at the Speed of Sound, another hand-me-down from my dad, and another record that I don't really care for that much. It's the same kind of music as Ship Ahoy, but it's a little bit slower, a little more melodic, some more singing. Still not really my cup of tea, but you know, it's not something I would consider getting rid of, because it's still part of my childhood, and it's got fucking Eddie Levert, you know. But yeah, it's a nice gatefold LP. Some fan club info up in there. These guys had some fucking rad outfits, dude. Look at that shit. They were dressed incredibly. I wish I liked the music, but I'm sorry, I kinda don't. Next record I'm gonna show you is some tight shit. Alright? This is Omen, Pilgrimage. This is actually a pretty rare record. I believe this is limited to, I can't remember if it's 500 or 1,000, one of the two. But anyway, it's a really nice gatefold LP. Check that out. I'm sure you already know who Omen is. Omen is the ex-members of Sleep. Great drone metal band. This was the last record of their really heavy drone sound. It kind of continued on the path of their first couple albums. Really, really good though. Super heavy, super rockin'. Pilgrimage. If you can find it, great. If you can't, hey, too bad for you, bruh. Next record I'm going to show you, this is God is Good. This was like the beginning of the sound that grew into that I really, really like. This is when they started introducing more of the Middle Eastern instruments. Although it does have some heavy parts, but it's not quite as like super heavy as the other stuff. It's more meditative. It doesn't have that dirty, fuzzy bass sound. It has that more clean, crisp, clear bass sound. But just the playing, of course, is still just so good. And the extra instrumentation on this album is just absolutely fantastic. Next record I'm going to show you, motherfuckers. This is Advaitic Songs. If you watch my top 10 non-hip-hop albums of 2012, this record was on there. This is my favorite album right now. It's, again, more meditative, more spiritual, if you will. A lot more Middle Eastern instruments. I think, you know, they were hanging out with Current 93 for a while, I know, and maybe those guys kind of got influenced by their more atmospheric sound. The songs are crafted way better than the other albums, in my opinion. Everything is just beautifully played. They almost created a whole new genre, in my opinion, with this album. Nothing else really sounds like this. It's atmospheric, droney, meditative metal. Whatever you want to call it, but this record is just fucking awesome. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Omen, Warning of Danger. This is another record I bought on a whim at Criminal Records when they had the old school metal bin. I probably bought this for like $2. Didn't know anything about it except for the guys on here looked pretty awesome, you know. By the way, rest in peace, J.D. Kimball. Anyway, if you haven't ever heard of this album, if you like Iron Maiden, if you like old school Anthrax, if you like old school Slayer, pick this up, dude. This is a very underrated classic album in my book. The playing on here, to me, rivals Iron Maiden. Like, these guys were playing some of the best thrash, melodic thrash of that era. This came out in like 1985 on Metal Blade, and it's a fantastic album. A lot of great, fast, heavy metal songs. So, you know, do yourselves a favor, man. If you're an old school thrash heavy metal fan, please pick this up, dude. Pick this up. It's a great album. Next record I'm gonna show you, motherfuckers. Ottawa Jihad split. I doubt many of you guys are even gonna know what the hell this is, but I remember I talked about the Current album towards the beginning of my vinyl vids, and Ottawa was a members of Current. Ottawa was just crazy, fast, sick grind, fucking awesome grindcore, kind of like a more grindy Drop Dead. And on the flip side, Jihad was like really dark, heavy, hardcore. I don't really know what to really compare them to, but they were really good, really good. I was lucky enough to see them play in Atlanta some years ago. It's known for the famous "Kiss the Goat" intro. But yeah, Ottawa Jihad. If you like grind, pick it up. If you like really awesome hardcore, pick this up. It's a fantastic album. Next record I'm going to show you guys. This is Outspoken, A Light in the Dark. Yeah, this is another one of my favorite records, and actually one of my favorite hardcore bands. They were like mid-90s hardcore. Very melodic. They weren't super heavy. They're kind of like maybe Resurrection, or maybe kind of like Endpoint. You know, no real screamed vocals, no harsh vocals. They were kind of like that yelled, almost sung kind of vocals. Great lyrics about human rights, women's rights, animal rights. Of course, some lyrics about the fucking straight edge. Alright? If you like hardcore, if you're like into hardcore now and you're not really sure about these guys, hey man, do yourselves a favor and go pick this album up, because it's fucking awesome. I've seen some change so fast, it was in a flash with their sincerity last. Listening to this shit right here, man, makes me want to fucking put on some goddamn neck armor, fucking X up, put on some Jinkos and some running shoes, and get in the fucking pit and start moshing motherfuckers, man. Shit's that tight. Great lyrics, great album, great playing. Outspoken, A Light in the Dark. Alright, now we're about to go through my my Ozzy Osbourne collection. The first one I'm going to show you guys, of course, has to be Blizzard of Oz. This is my favorite Ozzy record, of course. First record, Randy Rhoads on guitars. Some of his best songs, in my opinion, are on this album. I Don't Know, which might be my favorite Ozzy Osbourne song. I remember it was the opening track that was played on the Plan B virtual reality video, and I remember just getting so hyped when that came on. I don't know. Crazy Train, of course, has Suicide Solution. Wine is fine, but whiskey's better. I agree with that shit. Mr. Crowley, Steal Away the Night, fucking awesome songs. Pretty beat up copy, but you know, it's clean. The record's clean, and it's the original that I first bought when I first heard of Ozzy, so I would never get rid of it. I don't need to replace it. You know, in my opinion, I still say that old records look better a little bit beat up. But yeah, Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman. Yeah, this is an okay album. You know, to be honest, I don't listen to this one very much. It's just okay. It still had Randy on it, so it has some of those great riffs. But some of the songs themselves didn't really hold me, you know. But it's still a great album, you know. It's still a great album. So, of course, if you can find this anywhere, you should definitely pick it up. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Bark at the Moon. This record is pretty good. It's the first without Randy Rhoads on Git. Some of the songs have more of a rock and roll feel than old school heavy metal feel. Some of the songs are great, but some of the songs are kind of meh. So, but yeah, again, if you can find this, you should definitely pick it up. I mean, just for the fucking cover art itself, man. Ozzy was a fucking innovator back then, dude. This guy. But yeah, no shot to Jake Lee. He was definitely a great guitar player, and he definitely crafted some good songs. But it just doesn't hold a candle to Blizzard of Oz, in my opinion. But it's still a good album, so you should definitely pick it up if you can find it. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Ozzy Osbourne, Ultimate Sin. I really don't have very much to say about this album because this album is the epitome of meh. A lot of people say this is his worst record. And I've read some things that say that they think it's his worst record because the production was bad. I think that the songs themselves are really boring. Maybe with better production, the songs might pack a little bit more of a punch and get me a little more interested, but I can't say. But as of right now, I can't say I ever listened to this album. I would never get rid of it because it's old school Ozzy on wax, but, you know, it's not something that I would consider to be essential in your collection. The last record I'm going to show you in this edition of the Vinyl Shit is going to be Ozzy Osbourne, No Rest for the Wicked. Now, this record, it might be my second favorite Ozzy record. This record, to me, reinvigorated Ozzy. Like, Ozzy sounded brand new and fresh. He sounded like he just woke up from a fucking decade-long sleep and just fucking felt like coming out and just killing motherfuckers. This had some great songs. Miracle Man, Devil's Daughter, Breaking All the Rules, Fire in the Sky. This was more rebellious Ozzy. It wasn't like, I'm rock and roll Ozzy. This was, I'm fucking metal Ozzy, god damn it. But yeah, faster, more powerful. This fucking record. And the cover, I still think, is one of his best covers. You know, this is just an awesome record. That's all I gotta say. It's an awesome record. Trust your boy. Trust your boy. So that's it. As usual, thank you for living. Thank you for loving. Thank you for being you. Thank you for watching my shit. And hey, man, we gonna keep this shit going, bruh. We gonna keep this shit going, dog. Alright? So I'll see you motherfuckers next week. As we do in these streets. Peace, bitches.